What's up, everybody? Argthepirate here, and today I'm going to teach you how to pick up the Lucid Nightmare mount. Now, this thing is absolutely awesome, and besides a lot of effort, it's pretty easy to pick up. The only requirement is you have to be level 100. Besides that, make sure you have several hours to work on it, and hey, let's get right into this guide. Now, step one of the puzzle for the Lucid Nightmare is pick yourself up a Shadow Weave mask. You will use this later on, but you cannot get this mount unless you have this helmet. And guys, go to the auction house, pick it up. On Skywall it was going for 800 gold. On Storm Rage it was going for 8,000. But really, to get this mount, you have to have this item. Now, I'm going to be very thorough with this guide and show you every location that you need to be at. So, guys, if you need to pause it, go for it. But we're going to start out. The very first step is at Curiosities and More. You can see I was at the Dalaran Fountain. This is the new Dalaran, guys. You want to head into Curiosities and More and head upstairs to this table where you find your first item that you need to click. When you open this scroll up, you are given the message. It begins in the 2104059 with the most pleasing sign. These letters will not always rhyme. Now, once you've clicked this item, you then need to go to the Arrg raid located in Northern or in Storm Peaks. The fastest way I've found to do it is go to the portal in Dalaran, go down, take it to the Wormrest Temple, and then simply mount up, go down to that flight path, and then fly to Arrg Storm Peaks flight point, and you can see that here. Now, once you get there, you'll then want to mount up and fly into the instance. Now, remember guys, this is a raid, and if you want to go for Mimiron's head, do it on heroic 25 man. If you don't, you miss that chance. Now, when you get in here, you want to talk to that little dwarf, but guys, you can run all the way there, that's no problem. But if you mount up on this bike, you can use that boost and it makes you go much faster. Now, just go ahead and head all the way down there, kill everything in front of these two big doors, and then the Flame Leviathan shows up. Simply take him out. If you're a 100 or 110, it's going to be a breeze to take him out. And then you're going to want to head down to this next room. Simply take out this raid boss, and then from here you can see I'm standing. These are the doors we originally ran through. You're going to want to head straight down, and then if you see that pile of garbage on that left-hand side, you're going to want to head over there, and then just simply climb up on this garbage, and you will see this nice little lever on top of this Mimiron's head-looking thing, and simply click that. Now, you know you're on the right track if you click the lever and the room starts populating with these little clickable nodes. What you're going to want to do with these nodes is create a gear. Now, here's a picture of what that should look like. And guys, the blue dots are left off. The black dots should be turned green. And once you create this gear, you're done. Now, I did mess up my gear, but you can see it's not that big of a deal. Just kind of figure out what you're doing or what that pattern looks like, and then get the right ones clicked, and boom, when you click that last one, they disappear, and you're given your next scroll. This scroll reads, 1,000 years imprisoned, surely it wears on the mind, so that means we're off to AQ40. Now, the fastest way to AQ40 is Hearthbeck to Dalaran. Take that portal in the middle, it takes you downstairs or upstairs, wherever it goes, and then take the portal to the Caverns of Time, mount up, head to this closest flight point, and then from there, you want to take the flight path to Oasis of Varshar in Oldham. Now, once you land, just simply mount up. If you know where you're going, you can fly straight there. But if you are kind of new to this area and don't know this raid, I'm going to fly to the front and then fly in from here. Now, if you're looking at the Encourage gates, you want to take a right and then just simply kind of follow this path around and you'll hit that AQ40 area. You know you're in the right place if it looks like this, and there's the map of it as well. You can spend some time clearing out all the trash because you do get some decent transmogs that sell for quite a bit, as well as there are 4 mounts that drop in this raid. Unfortunately, those mounts can only be used within the raid, but, you know, hey, spend some time in here and, you know, like I said, you can make some decent gold. Now, the beginning of this raid is very simple. It's a pretty linear raid. Just kill everything and kind of head around in this circle that you see on the map right here. Now, you do have to head all the way around this map, killing all the bosses. I would suggest skipping the slime boss because, you know, he is a pain still. But just run all the way around this map, and then you'll end up at Cthulhu. Now, from Cthulhu's room, which is where we are right now, you're going to want to walk up those stairs that you originally went down, and then swing out, head towards these NPCs. You might have a quest to turn into one of them if you kill Cthulhu, and then head over to this next room. Now, most of the time this room's empty, but now there is a grub that you can click on. When you click on it, you then get to play a little Bejeweled. Yeah, that's right, guys. You get to play Bejeweled, and it's a WoW version. Now, one thing you can do is if you hit Alt or hold Alt-Z, you actually remove your HUD, and it makes it just a little bit easier to click on. Now, since I have done this twice, I can say the better that you do, it seems like the faster this Bejeweled thing is over with. So there might be a certain amount of points that you need to get to or something like that. But the better you do, the faster it seems to go. Once you finally complete the, get enough points or whatever it's based on, it might just be just a random amount of time. I'm not exactly sure, but once you finally do, you see that happen, go ahead and turn your HUD back on. Remember, it's Alt-Z, and then you can click this item right here, and it's another scroll. Deeper Than Deep awaits your seat. It's time to get to your capital city so we can head to Deepholm. For Horde players, you want to head to Orgrimmar. For Alliance, of course, you want to head to Stormwind. Head to this little circle of teleporters or portals or whatever they are for that expansion that no one liked. And then head to Deepholm. And from here, you kind of want to head a little bit northeast. And I'm just going to go ahead and let this play all the way out so you can see where we are. But here are the caves that you are looking for. You want to head into the pinkish kind of cave. Now, once you're here, head down into this cave, and you can mount up inside of this cave. It just has to be a ground mount, and then simply run around. Watch out for that big worm. It's just a pain if he grabs you, and then you'll come to this cracked rock. Click on the cracked rock, and then you can drop down below. Once you get down below, you then see nothing but a chair with a skull on it. Now, this is where the Shadow Weave mask is needed. If you click on it without having the Shadow Weave mask on, you're prompted with this little thing that tells you to go get a Shadow Weave mask. And after that, once you put the mask on, it does take a second. You can see this is the thing that you click on before you have the mask. And then you go around, and now you can click on the skull. When you click on the skull, he drops another scroll. Make sure to click this next scroll where the Shadow Delegate may appear. Now, this is very simple for the Alliance because we have to go to Nomergon, which, if you fly to Ironforge, you can simply run down to the instance entrance. But for the Horde, it's a little bit more tricky, but it's still pretty easy. Just make your way to Orgrimmar. Now, once you get to Orgrimmar, you're looking for the Zeppelins. The one straight across from the Undercity Zeppelin, the one right here. If you go straight across from that, this one takes you to Stranglethorn Vale, which is exactly where we want to go. Now, the reason you want to get on this Zeppelin is because there is a portal where it ends that takes you directly to Nomergon. So, get on this Zeppelin, look at your transmog, and wait for it to fly you across. And then mount up, and you're going to want to fly down into this camp. You can see here, this little portal, just simply walk straight through it, and boom, you are now in the instance. Now, once you're in the instance, follow the path that I take. Now, I do mess up right here, but you're going to simply want to jump down. Don't run through this one. Follow the way you're supposed to go with the instance. You'll pass the girl on the motorcycle and just keep going this way. And once you get to the hangar, you'll simply take a left, and then you'll want to take the very next left, or this entrance right here. And you make your way down, and you'll come to a bunch of consoles. And these consoles, this is exactly where you need to be. Now, the code you need to know is 1222176 and you simply pull the lever up or down to change the numbers. Now, you can't pull it down and go to 9. Trust me, I tried. And you just simply turn each one of these consoles into the correct number, and when you finally get to the last one, the consoles all deactivate and another scroll pops up. Games and toys are left behind when you awaken screaming. That's never good to hear, but it's telling us to head to Val'sharah in the Broken Isles. Simply hearth back to Dal and then take the flight point to the Starsong Refuge in Val'sharah, and then you simply just want to take this path that I'm going to take here. Let's go ahead and speed that up, of course, but it's pretty simple, especially if you're higher level. You've probably already gone through this, and you know you can one-shot everything. I'm on that lower level mage that I have, so it's taking me forever to kill these things, and I've got to deal with this elite, but you might have to as well. But you want to head inside this house, and here is this little glowing orb thing that you can click on. Now, this starts up this little miniature kind of puzzle thing, and guys, this thing is actually really fun, in my opinion. But you simply see these little kind of orbs that you can click on. What you want to do is you want to make sure the orbs are all a blue line, and when you click on two different ones, you see it switches those two. And you simply want all the blue, or all the red lines. The red lines are where the wires are kind of crossing. You just kind of switch the orbs around to isolate certain areas or certain orbs, and then, you know, hey, it's a really fun little puzzle, and if you're into puzzles, it's pretty easy to do. Once you complete that, you're then given your next scroll. Now, once you complete this puzzle, the easy part is over. Head back to Dal, and you're going to then want to go to the Vale of Eternal Blossom. Since you just used your hearth, just whistle, take the flight point back to Dal, and then, you know, take that portal to Vale of Eternal Blossom. For the on the Horde side, it's right here. On the Alliance side, it's the portals that go to the major cities. It's just right alongside those within that little kind of class hall. From here, head to Kunglai Summits, and you're just basically going to want to go straight north, and once you get into those snowy mountains, you'll kind of find the area you need to be in, and I'm of course going to show you exactly where you need to be. Once you kind of get into this like kind of valley right here, this is it, guys. And you see there are several entrances. You want to go for this top entrance right here and head over. This is where the Lucid Nightmare gets its name, guys. This part is a nightmare. It's going to take several hours. I suggest getting a pen and piece of paper, and I'll show you exactly why. But you're going to click on this urn, and you click this and it says, hey, are you sure? Because it's warning you. But of course, click it, and then you're going to enter the Lucid Nightmare. Alright guys, now get strapped in, because this part is going to be by far the hardest part of this. You might get an easy one, you might get a hard one, but both times I've done this, it's taken several hours. Now, before we really get into how to solve this, what you need to know is the way I've been calling it is there's lamps and pedestals. And there's 5 colors: yellow, green, blue, purple, and red. And I'm gonna just post little pictures of them right here. What you want to do is take the correct lamp, or the fire, whatever you want to call that, to that correct glyph. But before you do that, you want to kind of create a map. Now, this place is an absolute labyrinth, and you can see here there's kind of these shadowy, foggy doors, and each room has 4 entrances. Sometimes the entrances are blocked by rocks. As you can see here, there's only one way for me to go in this room, and whenever I turn to go through that room, it takes you to a random location that looks exact same. And believe it or not, I think it might be the same, because as a mage, you know, if you use your blink, you have that little kind of residue that sits on the ground. When you go into the next room, you can see that little residue on the ground still. So this place is a huge labyrinth, and I've got a perfect example for that. Now, just like I said, this is a huge labyrinth. Here I am in the yellow room. I just came through the east entrance. The west and the north side are blocked off, so all I really can do if I want to progress forward is go south. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I first head south, and then I start going east. And I'm just going to speed this up because, again, guys, you run through room after room, and they all look the same, except when they have those lamps or those pedestals. That's how you tell kind of where you are. And I went south a few times, and now I'm going to start heading west. And if you see here, so I went south, east 3 times, and then south 2 times. Now I'm going west, and I believe I go about 7 times. I'm going to go ahead and show you my map, and this is exactly why I highly recommend making a map, guys, because look at this. We're back in the yellow lamp room. How is that possible? And the way it's possible is this is a labyrinth. And guys, it does not change though. So you can make a solid map that does not change, but sometimes the rooms fall on top of themselves. And that is something to highly be aware of because, again, you are in this sort of maze. And you can see there's a south entrance, a east entrance, and the north and west are blocked off because we are in essentially the same room. It's just these rooms are interconnected. So even though when you first go in this, it might feel like the rooms are constantly changing, they really do stay the same. Like, if I go back to the yellow room and run the exact same path again, I will end up in the exact same room again. It's just knowing that pattern, knowing how the rooms are interconnected is very, very important. And I highly recommend making a map sort of like this. Now, I highly recommend making a map like this and try to map out everything. Try to map out all colors. You can see I am in this small portion of this huge map that you have to make. I only have the lamp and pedestal of the blue and red. I'm missing the purple, yellow, and green. So you're going to have to make like 5 or 6 maps that are this size and then kind of smash them all together and create one giant map. And guys, if you got 2 monitors, go ahead, pick up paint, throw that up there, and it's very, very easy to just, you know, copy paste a square and put it where it needs to go. It just makes it so much easier. If you do end up picking up everything, which I actually did that in this instance because I kind of wanted to show it off, and it was a huge mistake. My purple lamp and my purple pedestal were actually in the rooms next door to each other. And I said, okay, I'll just find those later. Don't worry about it. And I ended up doing everything else because I had it all mapped out. Well, then I lost correlation with those pedestals and those lamps. And I ran around this thing for 3 hours trying to find them. So I highly recommend not picking up anything until you have everything mapped out. And then if in this case, the last thing I needed to find was the green lamp. I have everything else mapped out except the green lamp. So I just put on some music and hit, you know, auto run and just ran in straight lines until I found the green lamp, picked it up, and then did this next little trick I'm going to show you. Now, there is a huge importance in making a map, and there is one little trick, but you really need to make a map, guys. And this is the trick. I've been running around for about 2 hours now. I finally got the green lamp. That's one I was missing. Log out. When you log out and log back in, it puts you in the starting room. In your starting room, which, remember, mine was the blue lamp room. There the blue lamps are. Since I have my map, it's easy peasy. I can run straight through this thing. I know exactly where the green pedestal is. And from here, again, you're going to head to that green pedestal. And the main reason you want to make a map is because if you see here, I'm going to use this green pedestal, or I use a lamp on the pedestal. It disappears, guys. So I lost a huge piece of information on plotting this area. But since I have my map, you see here, watch, I'm going to run straight to the yellow lamps, guys, because I know exactly where they are. Making a map is so huge when it comes to running this, you know, Lucid Nightmare maze. I can't say it enough. Guys, please, please make a map. And you see there, I dropped off the yellow, picked up the red. The red room is right next to the blue lamp room, which is the room that I start out in. And you see here, there's the blue lamps, the red pedestal right there. And then grab the blue pedestal, take it to it, and, you know, hey, we're going to be done. Now, once you complete your last combination, mine was purple because the rooms were right next to each other. I saved it for last. And once you complete that, I've got all 5 colors done. You simply walk through a doorway. This teleports you to a new area. And in this area, right on this little platform right here, whatever it was, sarcophagus, whatever it is the final scroll. Now, you can run through this entire area, but there's nothing here, guys. Just that scroll. Go ahead and hearth back to Dal, because the next place we need to go is Karazhan. Now, once you get to Dal, the fastest way to get to Kara is you definitely head to that middle portal, take it downstairs, then turn to your right, click that Kara portal, and then you arrive at the entrance of the old version. Now, you want to fly kind of that northwest version. You'll see this place right here, Morgan's Plot in the Forgotten Catacombs. You're going to head down the path that I'm going. Now, this is 3 times speed, just so it's a little bit faster, but you can get confused because it all looks the same. But just head this way that I'm going, and hey, well, if you head to this long ways and then drop down, you know you're in the right direction. And right there is the purple chest. This is what's going to have your awesome new mountain, guys. Oh man, I know this takes forever, but the Lucid Nightmare is definitely worth it. It's one of my favorite mounts, and it just looks incredible. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this guide on how to get the Lucid Nightmare. I really hope y'all enjoyed. Guys, it's not worth it doing it more than once. It only sells for 1 copper. Don't waste your time. But if y'all did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Join me in World of Warcraft. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next episode.